It's currently 8:30 in the morning, maybe 8:40 in the morning right now, and there is friggin' snow on the ground. It's about 31 degrees outside, and it's supposed to hit like 60 to 70 today. And I don't want to deal with that, but obviously I have to deal with that because I gotta go to class today. So that's exciting. With that happening. Not much else happening today. Gonna work on my sports predictions after I take a shower. That video will be up way before this video's up because, baseball, everything's at noon. A lot of teams are going back to their home stadiums this week. Just because, like, the Padres are playing the Mariners in San Diego this week as the Mariners make their way home. 2-game series today and tomorrow. Wednesday's an off day for everybody. And then Thursday is opening day with all 15 teams in action. And it's also the day that I go and play Pathfinder with the club at school, which is awesome. I'll miss some of the Mariners game, probably all of the Mariners game, actually, which is fine. I'll just come home and watch it on replay. That's why I have MLB TV and everything. That, and, you can't really get Mariners games here without MLB TV, which is sad because, like, I wish there was a way that you could just buy a single team like you can do with the NBA, but you can't. It's now 10:30 a.m. It's about 45 degrees outside. As you can see, I'm not wearing a coat. This is just a jacket that goes with this. And it's like, like a dress jacket and whatever to go over the top, make it a little bit more professional looking. I could take this off and make it like a more party, which is kind of awesome. Sun is out. The snow is melting. I'm on my way to school because I wanted to get there early and just see what's going on because it's first day after break, see what they got in terms of like this week's food, see what they got in terms of anything wild happening. Usually nothing wild happens, but just wanted to go early. My class is until 4, so I can hang out for a little while, do some other stuff if I want to as well. Okay, so what exactly is World of T-Shirts going to be doing in France? So there's a couple of things I know France for. One is the Eiffel Tower. One is massively violent protests, the Napoleonic Wars, Les Miserables, all that stuff, and alcohol, specifically champagne. So, is he going there? I don't think I've ever seen him drink champagne. I've seen him drink a ton of wine. I saw him drink that martini that he didn't like the other day, and I can tell he doesn't actually like alcohol. He has to drink because he has to drink. He doesn't want to drink. He drinks because he has to. And part of that is, yes, if he were to quit cold turkey, and if he actually had a sober Sunday, like Quinn said he did yesterday, he would be in severe medical issues today, and I'm worried about that. Especially considering if he stopped drinking Saturday night at midnight, what time is it now? I'm in New York too. It is 13:30 right now. So that would be 37 and a half hours after his last drink. And his flight is a red eye, so let's assume 9 p.m. I didn't look at JFK's flights, but let's assume 9 p.m. That would put him right in the range of the 48 to 72 hour range of potential delirium tremors, potential seizures, if he were to continue not drinking until he were to get on the flight. I don't trust him to not drink on the flight. And then he would go and get in France and probably start drinking there, which would be technically not the worst decision, as it would potentially make him feel better, but it probably wouldn't help him medically. Hopefully he goes to rehab in France, but because it would be cheaper than going to rehab in America. I don't see him going to rehab in France. But I don't understand what he's doing there. And he's just extended it from a 3-day, or from an 8-hour trip, which is a layover, to a 3-day trip. Now, there's plenty of trains in Europe, and he could end up in England, Belgium, all over the place just from France. I kind of hope he ends up in Portugal, because he'd have to go through Spain, through Madrid and everything, and he'd just end up in Portugal, and it would be funny, because, I just think ending up in Portugal would be the funniest way for this trip to end. And we know he likes trains. And this isn't an autism thing. He's always on the trains and public transit, so clearly he enjoys them. But I'm heavily worried about him, and I don't know how to help. Beyond Sober made a video yesterday telling Josh that he needs help and that he would reach out to Josh to help him. And of course, Michael Quinn was like, "You're worse than the drink tracker guy." But it's like, no, he's not. And the drink tracker guy ain't even bad. I've got a massive headache, and I really don't know why. I'll probably feel better in a little bit. I'm just enjoying outside, and it's actually making me feel a little better. I got a beverage with some carbs and sodium in it. Sodium usually helps me feel better. Wow, 68 grams of carbs in this one beverage. That's a little much. But thankfully I'm going to be walking a lot today, so I'll burn it off. It's only 280 calories, which 68 times 4 is, yeah, it's 280. It's entirely from carbs. That's hilarious. Filtered water, HFC, natural and artificial flavors, citric acid, sodium benzoate, and potassium sorbate as preservatives, red 40, vitamin E, alpha-decocafferol acetate, blue 1, B12, which is actually good because I need B12 and B6, which is also in here, because I've got anemia, and that helps with the anemia. So that's fun. The NFL just announced that they're banning the hip drop tackle. I don't know why. Don't know. I mean, rugby did, but I don't know if the NFL knows what they're doing. It'll be interesting to see. I'll probably still watch. It's the NFL. But I have a passing interest in human anatomy and physiology and medical stuff. That's why I watch House and other things. Well, and that time that I dated a girl who was trying to be a doctor, and I would do it again, totally. But I just think it's cool, and so like I'll watch a lot of like Doctor Explain stuff on the NFL. So I'm waiting for somebody like Dr. Mike or the other guy to explain this as to why it's good. But I don't know if it'll be good, and it'll be interesting to see if the NFL turns into Sarcastaball or flag football. Players aren't happy. I'll probably make a video about the whole thing at some point today. Today's a weird day because I've got class at 4. I'll be home by 5:36. Once I get home, I'll sit down, probably just I already did my schoolwork, my homework that's due tonight. So what I'll probably do is work on my final paper for my Intro to Education class, because I already did the observation, so now it's write about your experiences with it, so check that out. So, it's supposed to be a 3 to 5 page paper. I can bang that out in a night, but have that banged out by the time the Mariners play at 9:40. So 9:30 really, because I want to have everything ready for me, like the scorebook and all of that. Because I am going to try to learn how to keep score tonight. I am going to probably fail, but that's okay. I'm learning. I am learning, and I've got a 120 game scorebook, so I'll have to get another one at some point. But I'm excited about this. It is not a regular season game, but it is at Petco Park. I've got a little less than an hour before it's time to go to class, so I'm just chilling, hanging out outside. It's nicer here than at the house, so, do that. But, plus there's better food here. But also, I've been going down the world of t-shirts rabbit hole again, and it's scary. It's absolutely scary, some of the things I've seen. I don't know what's going to happen. I just saw a video of him filmed maybe an hour ago, less than an hour ago, where he's shaking. So I have a feeling he actually did have a sober Sunday, and Quinn just didn't allow him to drink. He was probably at Quinn's house and didn't drink yesterday, which is incredibly dangerous. So the other thing I'm doing is I'm waiting to get a notification for a grade from my Lit Crit course. That's the course where I got a 79 on an exam, and I'm waiting to see the points needed from this grade to see what I need to get on everything else, because there's 2 more exams and an essay, and the essay's 20. This essay's 10, so if I have the exam was 10, so that's 7.9. There's informal writing that just turning in gets you credit for 10, and I haven't missed a day of class, so I've turned all of those in, so that's 17.9 out of 100 and 17.9 out of 75, actual 74 to get to a C in the class. prefer to get a B, but a C is all I need to get actually to use it for certification and anything. But it's just so, I'm just waiting. Tomorrow in the class we're going over Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and then my late class Intro to Education is canceled. So I'm going to stay up late tonight, probably watch the Mariners, 9:40 start time. It is difficult being a Mariners fan all the way on the East Coast. Unfortunately, I got to figure out how to watch the 3 games against Cleveland, because that's blacked out here. I don't know why. So, yeah, today's class topic is antibiotic resistance. It's controversial biology. I'm trying to figure out how it's controversial. I read 2 articles today about it that were provided by the professor, and there were some things in them. One talked about like the rise of antibiotic-resistant superbugs because of physicians overprescribing antibiotics at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, which was interesting. I personally have been on antibiotics four times since 2018. The first one was in 2018. I had an ear infection. Then in 21, I had an ear infection. Then in 22, I had an ear infection. And then earlier last year, I had an ear infection. I had 3 straight years of an ear infection. And they were all on the left side. And I just had some pretty nasty cavities filled on that left side. So we'll see if potentially that bacteria was moving from the mouth into the ear canal, which makes sense. Like the cavity filling, whew, I don't have pain on that side of my mouth anymore. I do have to have some teeth removed, so there's that. But I'm doing better with that, which is good. The other article was about the use of antibiotics in meat, and I've basically cut red meat out of my diet. I basically eat chicken and vegetables and fruit and rice, which, I don't know, potatoes, stuff like that. I'll eat a red meat here and there, but not often, mainly because cholesterol, weight loss, and prion diseases. I don't want to deal with any of those. My cholesterol actually dropped from, I had a total of 201 with my LDL being like 140 at one point. And my doctor didn't want to treat it, but because it wasn't always 142, it was, at times my HDL was high too, but now my LDL's down to 82, so hopefully that can help, along with I've been eating better, lost some weight. That LDL number was also when I was heavily drinking, so we'll check it again in 3 months. The LDL number, the 140, was a year ago when I was heavily drinking, which is very, very bad for you, because drinking messes with the liver, and the liver deals with cholesterol elimination and all of that. But I did not realize that there was so much antibiotics given to red meat, like cows and pigs. I've had a few pigs recently. I had a craving for it, like the day before spring break, so I had bacon and a burger. But I haven't had it since, and I have it maybe every couple of months. It's sort of like if I have a craving, I'll eat it. But in general, no. It's actually kind of nice. I wouldn't say that, like, I'd eat a balanced diet, or, I'm in a calorie deficit as much as I'd like to be, but yeah. I also still have dairy products, so ice cream. I really like ice cream. I've been considering trying a vegan yogurt if I can find it, but it sounds expensive to, replace the unhealthy dairy. But also, dairy's not the end of the world to have once in a while. But yeah, today we're going to be discussing the articles. The professor's going to go over a PowerPoint explaining it. I'm the only one in the class that's not going, that's not going for like a healthcare field job. I'm actually a social scientist, going to be an English teacher, and social science is just like a hobby of mine. We're like taking a sociology of education class, and I'm actually thinking that I might want to do a PhD in that, because it would be fun. Because obviously, like, if I do a PhD while I'm working as an educator, it would be, easier to actually go and do the other things. Plus, I'd be able to fund it myself, or loans, or whatever. I'm not worried about loans, because the district I plan on working in is incredibly low income. It's the one I've lived in my whole life. And I'd like to work in... There's a couple of schools I'd like to work in. around here, but there's two that I absolutely won't because of some scandals they've had, including one where they did some absolutely disgusting and illegal things to me when I was a student there, involving accommodations and stuff. Um, I got my purple hair, makes me happy. Gonna. So last week I tried to rent the car for Uber, and they said I couldn't do it because I didn't have a credit card with a chip in it. So what I'm doing right now is I opened a new bank account at one of the banks, and I'm waiting for my debit card to show up, and it should show up in 7 to 10 days. So hopefully there's some new information about that, and I can get that. So I just called. They said it'll ship Thursday, so I'll probably get it on Monday. But they're a local bank, so I might get it, Saturday. And if I get it then, what I'll do is I'll move some money into the account. So for the Friday after, I'll go down to the place with the debit card with a chip in it and rent the car for Uber. Try to make about $1,000 in the first week. Then the following week, keep it for a week. Just because, I want to do it for 2 weeks. I need to come up with a couple thousand. Well, I need $481 for a hotel I want to stay in, but that's not mandatory. And then next time I'll get anything from financial aid will be late May. So April and May's phone bill is 400. So, well, 403. So 403 there. So that's 800. Plus, I want to have a little bit of extra for buying stuff at the thing that I'm doing when I'm getting the hotel for, which is like 200. Plus the event's 30, so it's about 1,230. I could do that in 2 weeks. So 600 plus 1,200, 1,800, 900 a week. I can do it. But I might keep the car for a little bit longer and keep going for a couple of weeks. Got to do 30 trips a week, which 30 trips at $10 each covers just the rental. But I'm thinking it'll be a fun thing to do. Get back in the groove of being able to have my own money, have some income, hang out with everything, get out of the house some more. Not have to rely on public transit. I am kind of happy that it worked out that way, though, because the weather last week on Friday was awful. Snow's still here. It was snowing so bad, and I would not have enjoyed driving in it. um, I am absolutely terrified of what I'm going to see tonight after class when I go on to World of T-Shirts posts. Um, Especially if he hasn't been drinking since Saturday. So when he gets to the airport, it's going to be worrying. He's going to be flying out of JFK because LaGuardia is not well, either JFK or Newark, but I assume JFK. Because LaGuardia is not an international airport. And it'll be a red eye because it's almost always a red eye going from here to there. He'll get there early in the morning. Look at 7-hour flight to France. Hopefully he's on an Airbus. But that's just because of Boeing's issues. I'm just terrified of what I'm going to see when I look it up. Tomorrow my late class is canceled. I think I said that already. So I think after my early class, I'm going to go over to the arena here, check that out. Maybe try some of the gym equipment they have. They have a gym open to all students, so that would be cool. Especially because I am trying to lose weight. I was at 301 the last time I weighed myself last week, and my doctor's appointment's on April 22nd. So I'm trying to be at 290 by then, but even just under 300 would be great because I haven't been under 300 since pre-pandemic. Got home, had some dinner, streamed for about 95 minutes. It was fun. MLB The Show. Had a couple of viewers, had some chatters, so always appreciate when that happens. Then I had a time where it was just one viewer, no chatting, which is totally cool. If you're not comfortable chatting in the stream and you just want to watch, I'm cool with that. I might say, hello, welcome to all the new viewers if a bunch of people show up, but it's one of those things where I gotta think, if somebody's chatting, I want to talk to them, and if they're not chatting, just talk. Getting ready to watch the Mariners game. It's on San Diego Padres TV at 9:40. Right now I'm also following along with the World of T-Shirts thing with the pre-gaming the airport. I've never seen something like that. Not been a bad day today. Nice thing about the fact that the Mariners play at 9:40, should be finished by 11:40. Probably be able to put my sports predictions out by midnight, 1 a.m. Maybe not have all of the results in from the previous day, but I can always just toss those in tomorrow night or tomorrow morning or whenever. Because my late class tomorrow is canceled, and she's just posting one little assignment that we're gonna have the whole week to work on. So hopefully I can just finish that real quick. My morning class, my 12:30 class, 12:30 to 2, is still going on, and that's okay. I'm gonna go and see how annoyed I get by people talking about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Because I'm especially ready to talk about the book in relation to queer theory and mutant and uncanny and stuff like that, because that's what she wants us to talk about it with it on Friday, which is a Thursday, which is I don't want to, but I'm especially excited about queer theory because I interpret a lot of stuff using queer theory, obviously because I am, but also because sometimes it's just interesting to see how that works. Today's Mariners game, it's one of the MLB TV free games of the day, which is really cool, but Root isn't broadcasting it, which is fine. But the Padres announcers are just, it's 3-1 Mariners right now, and they've barely talked much about the Mariners as JP strikes out. But it's just absolutely wild to me how goofy these announcers are. And like, I know it's spring training and it's time and it's the time to be goofy and practice and everything. But I don't think I could handle these announcers for all 162. And remember, the Mariners have multiple announcers because Goldie sometimes has to go work for Fox and everything. Um, I'm excited to see where the team goes. Been hanging out in the game thread on Reddit while also hanging out in the World of T-Shirts subreddit, trying to figure out if he's going to get arrested. Um, got a grade back on the essay that I've been waiting for 2 weeks. 85%. So this is the class that I'm only shooting for that. Like I'll be happy with a C in. So I have that's 8.5 points because it's worth 10%, and then 7.9. So eight and 7 is 15, and then 15.5. So 16.4 out of 74. So I need 50 points more. I'd love to get a B in the class, which is probably possible, but even if I don't get a B in the class, it's fine. A C is fine.